coming into recovery and how that why needs to be something super powerful, right? And actually, just to go back to that real quick, they talk about be successful, you have to have a why and a how, right? And I heard somebody say something the other day. He said you need both to succeed, but if your why is strong enough, it'll supersede your how.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and a lot of times when we relapse, man, that why wasn't strong enough in that moment to keep us from going back out. And so that why really, really, really matters. And I've leaned heavy on that why a lot lately because the how I didn't know how to do coming into recovery, like especially like as we were talking about me coming out of jail, like when I was trying to get my path put together, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how that was gonna happen.
Well, and I think that's where, like you talking last time about getting out of jail, you go right back to that is what you know,
Right.
right? And so that creates a lot of stigma
Oh
around,
yeah.
well, and you may not go right back to drugs, but you go back to, if you were homeless when you went in, you're homeless when you come out, right?
Bro, when I got out, I was living in the back of my wife's car. She was staying with a friend, but they wouldn't allow me to stay there because I just got out of jail. You know what I
Right.
mean? So they were sketchy about me. But so I was sleeping in the back of her car, right? And again, I had a bag of clothes, didn't have nothing to lean on, and so that how was extremely diminished. I knew I
Sure.
needed to accomplish something in a very dramatic fashion, right? But how I was going to go about doing it, I was completely lost to.
Well, and that goes to the stigma of how people treat you, right? You just got out of jail. Some people don't want you around. I look back at when I first met you. I
Mhm.
didn't care that you'd been to jail. You had been in recovery for a while. You've been kind of doing your own thing. And when I met you, you needed more support of guys that were gonna give you the opportunity to prove yourself.
Right, right.
And so I think that being an outside person looking at just your situation and then a few others that I know, that's the biggest problem is people place you in that little box.
Bro, boxes in my opinion, bro, like boxes are what's tearing the world apart.
Boxes and labels, which is one of your
Labels and but like, when you start trying to categorize people and put everyone in a box, right? You're not really doing yourself any justice. You're not doing the community any justice, right? One thing I've had to learn about recovery, and I see this in a lot of treatment facilities, you see this real heavy in the court system, but somebody will catch a charge or somebody will have a problem and they immediately get put into a box that's 10 times worse than where they need to be.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, and so, but it's just that, again, that label, right? And then we magnify that label, right? And something I've kind of learned, you know, God can either magnify the good things in your life or he can magnify the bad things.
And he does a really good job at it. When you're labeled, what's your first reaction when somebody labels you? Yours individually, and then we'll kind of go out to the whole in recovery as a whole.
At first it was hurtful, right? Because I was in a situation that I didn't have any control over, right? For one, everybody was telling me my problem was my drug issue. Like, you just need to stop using drugs. Stop using drugs, stop using drugs. And I'm like, man, my problem is so much deeper than that.
Yeah.
Like, it is so much deeper than that. Like, you don't even understand. The drugs is what's keeping me in like this safe space, right? But like without the drugs, I'm a total maniac. I don't know how to deal with myself. I'm suicidal. I'm lashing out in anger. I can't control my anger. I can't control these floods of emotions that are hitting me because of things that happened in my past, right?